Hey guys, it's Andrea here from Crafter Support. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to share with you how to draw and then cut with your Cricut. So the first thing you want to do is click on image and then type in what you're looking for. Then scroll down to operation type, click on that, and then click cut and draw. So once you do that, it's going to pull up all of the images that you can cut and draw with your Cricut that's pre-designed into Cricut Design Space. And then all you need to do is scroll through there and find an image that you like, and then we'll pull it up onto our canvas. So I'm picking this cute little bunny that's holding a basket, and she just looks super sweet. And we're just going to click on her, add to canvas, and then we are ready to begin. So we're going to be making a card with this image, a basic, very simple card. And we're just going to resize her. And I'm going to name her Penelope because she's so cute and she looks like, to me, a Penelope. So we're going to take Penelope, we're going to move her over, and then we're going to make a card base. So all we're going to do is, this is just temporary that we're going to have on our screen to make sure that she fits properly onto our card front. So a basic card front is going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So we want to type our width at 5.5 and we want to put our height at 4.25. That's going to be your entire card base once it's folded in half, because we're going to be cutting an 8 1/2 by 11 piece of paper right down the middle. So once we have the proper size, we're just going to move Penelope over to our card base, and we're just sending the card base to the back so that way there we can put Penelope on top. And then we look and see, yes, she fits perfectly. That's the size I want her. And we are ready to make some changes with her and make sure she is a print then cut. Or I'm sorry, a draw then cut. So we can delete this rectangle now that we know that. And we're going to go ahead and just highlight over her. And I'm going to show you that she's grouped together. We can ungroup her. But if we don't, like let's just say we leave her grouped, she's not attached, anything like that, and we click make it. Here's what we're going to see. It's going to say you need to pick what to do with the lines. So we're going to click on just the inside, the actual bunny piece, and we're going to click on that, and we're going to click pen. Because at this point you could use foil, whatever you wanted, but we wanted to let the machine know we're going to click a pen, and then we're going to click a color, and then that part of her is going to be drawn. Now, we also want the background. So the piece that's kind of like around her, that like if you're a card maker, you know how this works. This would be like if you're using a die cut to like put around your image. That's what this is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that it's ungrouped, and we're going to separate the pieces. So we have, I know that I'm here somewhere ungrouping them. So we're going to move Penelope all around the board just until I can get it ungrouped. And then we're going to move Penelope off, and this is going to be our background. So we want to make sure that that says basic cut. And then we can center Penelope back inside of the base, and we're going to make sure that that says pen. And once it does, we know that it's ready to be attached. So here is where we want to select all, go down to attach, and click it. Once it's attached, we can click make it, and it will ask us what we want it on. Well, we want it on a mat, and we're using our Cricut Joy, and we're going to click continue, and here's what it's going to look like whenever you actually cut it. Now it's going to be searching for material. It's going to ask what you're using. I'm going to use some Cricut medium cardstock, which is 80 pounds. And here you'll see it shows the first thing you're going to do is use your pen. Then you're going to load your mat. And next, coming up, it'll say your fine point blade. So you know that that is your next step. So let's get our paper prepared so that we can get everything into the machine. So the first thing I'm doing is using a bright, fun yellow cardstock. This is from Michael's. I showed this in a haul the other day. I'm working with this, not 100% pleased with it yet. I'm still working out the quirks on the bending of it, but it's not terrible paper. And I'm using my Cricut personal trimmer, and we're going to cut this in half, like the width way. So we're going to cut it at 5 1/2. This will make 2 cards. So you can make 2 cards out of one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper simply by cutting it in half either way. So we're going to make a basic folding card. There's a tent fold, and then there's just a normal folding card, and that's what we're doing here. So we're going to cut it in half at 5.5, and I'm not really sure what I'm trying to explain to you with this. I'm just doing a voiceover, so it's kind of hard to remember what I was talking about during the actual process. But that piece is cut and ready to go. We will fold it here in a minute, but now we need to cut our base paper that the machine is going to draw and cut, and we're going to cut that at 4.5. We know that our Cricut our Joy mat is 4.5 wide, so we can't make it any bigger than that. If you're using your anything above your Cricut Joy, then you can just put the 12 by 12 sheet of paper on your mat and go ahead and cut from there. So the next thing I'm going to do is use my blue mat, and I'm going to use my brayer, and I'm just going to push the paper in. I'm going to brayer it down because you really want a nice sticky mat, and you want your paper stuck very, very well to the mat so that you get a nice clean cut. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our design ready to cut. So I switched from my laptop to my phone, and I did pre-draw this one. What you'll see what happens is I end up drawing it first without cutting it, and then I put it back through to do the draw and cut. So you'll see a bunny appear at the bottom. It's not supposed to be there, but I was working with something, trying to figure something out whenever I was using it. So the next thing we're going to do is load our machine. And here I'm just making sure everything is selected properly. And this is where I found the problem the last time I did it. So I'm going to take out my blade, and I'm going to put in my black Cricut pen. And you have to use a Cricut Joy pen, and I'll show you here in a minute the difference in size and shape for your Cricut pens. So my Joy is just going to pull it in, and we can select go once it's ready, and it'll start drawing the bunny that we wanted to draw. So Penelope will appear soon. So now I'm pretty sure I show you the pen difference. So here are the Joy pens. I keep them stored upside down in a cup, and it just sets up. It's in a cubby on my wall, and they work better if you just if you have them upside down. So when you pull them out, they're going to write smoothly. There's not going to be a skipping in the drawing from ink. I've never had that issue with Cricut pens. It's never like ran out of ink in certain spots and then picked back up. It draws very smoothly, and I'm really pleased with how that works. So I'm pretty sure that I show you the difference in the marker sizes. I can't remember. So yes, I do. Okay, so the Cricut Explorer Air 2 and above, you can use the Cricut pens, but the Cricut Joy is shorter and rounder pens, and they do not fit. The regular Cricut pens do not fit in your Joy. So you want to make sure you're using the ones that are specifically said for the Cricut Joy. I hope that made sense. Okay, now you see that little bunny appearing at the bottom, like that was there for a previous when I first started making this design, and after I'd cut my paper to show you guys, and I completely messed it up. So it was totally my fault. It didn't cut the way it needed to cut because I skipped a step whenever I was making the video, but once I figured it out, I got it all fixed. So now we're going to take our marker out. The machine, my phone or your laptop will tell you like, okay, put your blade in now. Do not unload your machine. Just put your blade in, click go, and then it will cut Penelope out. So if you're familiar with stamping, you'll know that they make dies to cut out stamped images. Well, this like could take you to a whole new level. You wouldn't have to store all these die cuts. You could draw your images instead of worried about having ink and stamping. But if you're a traditionalist and you like to stamp, which I do like to stamp, you can do that too. But this is just a nice, easy way, and it just eliminates yet one more machine, even though I kind of want to get another die cutting machine, but we'll see what happens. But it cut it out so nicely, and we're going to just make a quick card. Very basic card. It's not going to be hard. So if you're new to card making, this is going to be super easy. I'm just going to use my scraper tool to burnish down the edges of my card. And then I'm going to look at it and say, oh, that looks cute. I like it. And now I'm going to get some ribbon. So I'm just going to make this a very cutesy little, like maybe for a little girl card. We could have used this to write on. So like I could have put this in, if I was using my Explore Air 2 and up, I could have had it write directly onto the card base, like Happy Easter or, you know, Hoppy Easter, something cute. But I just wanted to get across the point of the draw and cut, because that's like the most important thing to remember. Making sure you attach it, making sure your top layer is a draw and your base layer is a cut image. And as long as you remember that, you're golden. You'll be able to do it. So now I'm just using Tombow. Okay guys, I don't get this. Tombow tape runners are usually pretty amazing and they always work great. This one I bought from Michael's and it is not working the way that they normally work. So I'm not sure if there's just something wrong with this one, but it hasn't been that long ago since I bought it and I haven't used it a whole lot, so I'm not really sure why it's not working well. But I digress. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and use some these, what are these called? They're from Stampin' Up, and they're like, they pop things up. I should know what these are called. I use them all the time. But you can get these like little pop dots or razors, like at the Dollar Tree and things like that. And it just lifts your image up off of the paper. And it kind of just gives it a little bit of interest, you know, adding to your card. So you can, I'm just going to put a little Penelope down here. You could color her. You could print her out on colored paper or like decorative paper. Draw her out and then cut her, like have the machine draw and cut it out. And it would look super cute on like maybe a checkered paper or something like that. But now I'm just doing a faux bow by tying a knot in another piece of ribbon across that one. And look how cute this turned out. Very simple, very basic. I made it super quick and I love how it turned out. Again, you could color it. You could make a bunch of these and watercolor them, like water paint them, or give them to your kids to color. They can make, you know, Easter cards for family members, church members, whoever that they see around the holiday for Easter. So I hope this was educational. I hope you guys learned from it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye.